Welcome to the trailer park, folks. I'm a new investor with the goal of hitting $10,000 by the end of the year. Will I get rich or will I get wrecked? Let's find out. Today we're going to go over the old gravel road gains, see where we're at on the road to $10,000. I've got some game balls to give away to some of my top players of the week. We'll name our MVP of the week to the stock that gained the most. I sold a couple of stocks, couple of guys got cut, hauled to the dump. So that created a little bit of dry powder. So we'll take a look at the dry powder plan and see what we've got in mind to do with that money. So as you can see, things are getting a whole lot better for us. We were down 16% just 2 weeks ago, and here we are, cut that in half, only down 8% right now. $5,593 in the count, down 8% year to date, but still feeling good about that after where we were. Down 528 real live American dollars. All right, well, we did have some heavy hitters this week. Normally there's only a couple. Some of the numbers these guys put up this week would have definitely got you the MVP 90% of the weeks. DTCR, it's my data center ETF. It was up 7%. The trailer park's favorite stock, Elf Beauty, was also up 7%. SOFI, Gen Z's favorite bank without a bank, 8% for the week. And SPMO, the cheat code, up 8% for the week. And the highlight, the mighty Meta, came in at 9% up for the week. Let's go. And to think, with all these great numbers, and we've still got to name an MVP. Things went so well this week that there wasn't just one MVP, I had to name two. AMD was our MVP last week, so they're on a hot streak. But AMD and Amazon, what did we say before? It's Mount St. Amazon. We know it's going to erupt, we just don't know when. It did. Oh man, it's good to be right every now and then. It doesn't happen to me often, not yet. But anyway, two of my exciting stocks. AMD, I call it the big dog for a reason. It's the largest position in my portfolio, and every now and then it just kicks off on runs like this, and I'm over 100% ahead. I got over 100% gains on this now. Amazon, I was buying all the way through last year's dips after the tariff scare, Liberation Day. And so I'm sitting great on both of these. It's the number 1 and number 3 positions in my portfolio. To see them run like this, it feels good. So hopefully we'll be back on the upside on the old gravel road gains on a road to 10,000 sooner rather than later, as long as we keep getting great performances out of our top players like this. Okay, so my weekly 120 ended up going to SCHG, my high growth gravy train. It's the Charles Schwab large cap growth ETF, and the Sultan of swipes, Visa, got $80. So there's where my 120 went. I'm trying to get these ETFs built up to bigger positions. I'm wanting to get this one to a 10% position. So we'll talk about that a little bit later and where it sits currently. Visa, I'm about where I want to be with this one. It's everywhere you want to be, and it's right where I need it to be now after this $80 entry. It gets them to the percentage I'm after in the portfolio, so I'm happy. I'm getting things shaped up just the way I like it. To the dump, we had to carry out our software stocks. And I'm not sure I did the right thing. Y'all, like I said, I'm new at this. But I was told that whenever you buy a new stock, you should, right when you buy it, you should have an idea where you think it's going at the high. You should have set a pain threshold for the bottom. And I set a really high pain threshold for both of these. I thought I was buying them when they were already down. I thought they had already dipped and done their thing. So I thought I was good. Apparently not, because I got the little alarm bell the other day that said I was down 30% on both of them, which was where I'd set it. If they go down below 30% from where I'd bought them, thinking that they were already at the beat down stage, then there's probably something there that I didn't see, and I probably need to just go ahead and get out. The fundamentals are still good for both these companies. Salesforce and Adobe are still turning in great earnings. But this AI scare, and I don't know enough about any of it. I kept telling myself that, nah, they'll be fine, and they probably will be. But the fact of the matter is, Wall Street has turned their back on these two companies, turned their back on a whole lot of software companies. My little man money isn't going to do anything to swing this backer one way or the other. I'm stuck. We're, as the little guys, we're kind of stuck at Wall Street's mercy. Even if we see good things, if they've just turned their back on it, I guess I could wait a long time, But if they're down 30%, that means they got to come back up 60% for me just to break even. And I don't know how much growing they're going to have to do to get Wall Street's attention to bring them back around to me actually being able to make money in these two. So I just felt like there were other things right now. Everything's on an uptrend. When you've got days like we had this week, where 2 days in a row, every single stock, I had 16 stocks in the portfolio, and every single one of them was green, except for these two. And I just realized I can get this money out, take my hickey, put it in something else like SCHG or SPMO, the cheat code, because that thing's banging along, and I like the direction they're headed with the changes they made in their weightings this past couple of weeks ago. So that created $517 of dry powder. So now that we made the decision, right or wrong, I got to live with it. Now I got this money. Now it's time to decide, what are we going to do with it? All right. So with that sale of Salesforce and Adobe, that gave me $517 of dry powder to work with. So I took my portfolio, I laid all my stocks out that I had left. I gave them all weightings of where I wanted them to be, the weightings I'd like for them to have. And these are the 4 that came out that were the furthest off from where I wanted them to be. So I decided that's where I'm going to put this dry powder money this week. SPMO, the cheat code. It's a momentum fund. Every 6 months, they bring in who's hot, kick out who's not, keep the ball rolling. It's currently at 11%. I want to get it up to 15%, so I'm going to put 175 in there to make that happen. Stock number 2, SCHG. That's my high growth gravy train. It's the Charles Schwab large cap growth ETF. It's currently at 8% of the portfolio. I'm trying to get it to 10, so we're going to put $125 in there this week. The trailer park favorite, Elf Beauty. I love this stock. Out of all the stocks in the portfolio, this is my baby. This is the one I love the most. Adobe and Salesforce, I cut them loose because they hit a 30% loss. I didn't know that much about these companies. I'm a low-tech guy. I never fully understood exactly what they did and exactly how they made their money. So when you start feeling pain, it makes it easy to just go ahead and cut them loose. You don't have that conviction that you should have. But with Elf, it's totally different. Everybody in the family is using Elf. All 3 of my daughters use Elf. My mom, she's not using Elf makeup, she's got a few dollars in her pocket, but she'll use the tools, the brushes and whatnot. It's just something that is very much a part of our lives. It's an inexpensive, high quality makeup. It's readily available out here in the rural areas where we're at. And I love the way the companies run. I love the financials that they put out every quarter. 28 straight quarters of revenue growth. How are you going to top that? There's nobody that really even comes close to them in the consumers, area. So easy for me. I would probably run them up even more than that, but the fact is, I've kind of set a rule for myself that I would never let any individual stock go over 10% of the portfolio. AMD's at 13% right now, but it took itself there. I stopped at 10% and then it ran on up to become a bigger part of the portfolio. And if Elf does that, I'm fine with that too. I'll be fine if Elf wants to take a big run and be a bigger player. But I'm only going to take it up to 10%, so we're going to drop $100 in there this week. SOFI, number 4, Gen Z's favorite bank without a bank. It's currently 6% of the portfolio. I'm wanting to get it up to 7.5. So we're going to toss $75 of the dry powder money into SOFI. It's $16 right now. Still think it's a great deal. Anything under 20 seems like a great deal to me, and I'm just going to keep scooping up shares every chance I get. Well, I think that's about it, y'all. We'll get together next week and see how all this played out and what the portfolio looks like after all the reweighting. I appreciate y'all coming out. It's been a wild one today. This is the 4th try of getting this video done. I set up the first time and all the neighborhood kids came out to play, and I set up second time and lawnmower man across the way decided it was time to mow the field across the way. Came out, set up for time number 3, and it started raining. And there's a good chance it's going to start raining again here pretty soon, so if I felt a little rushed, I apologize. Also trying to do this without any notes, and that's been a trick. So I hope it didn't come off too erratic. I hope I didn't chase too many rabbits, but I'm trying to get more comfortable just going off the cuff and with what I got in my heart and mind instead of staring at a notepad in front of y'all for 10 minutes. So anyway, remember folks, we may never get rich at this, but there's nothing wrong with trying to get a little bit more than what you got. We'll see y'all next week here at the Trailer Park.